So to celebrate 130,000 subscribers, I am back with a Geekdom Q&A. Haven't done one of these in a little while, and I wanted to answer questions from the Ask.fm. I haven't been here in quite some time. I don't do weekly Q&As anymore because I kind of want to spread them out for special occasions, and this is a special occasion. I want to thank all you guys and all you new subscribers to the Geekdom 101 channel. What I do here on Geekdom 101 Q&A or whatever is I answer your questions from the Ask.fm, ask.fm/geekdom101. Sometimes I'll bring a guest on, but for this edition, I'm flying solo. And I like doing the solo ones. I get to really focus on the questions and kind of give you a real good direct connection between you guys and me. So let's go ahead and begin here. We're going to begin right down here and then kind of work our way up here. So, first question. I hope y'all are having a good day, by the way. This is also going to be a bonus video, I think. I may drop another video today. I'm recording this a few days early so I get it in the can. But it may be a little extra thing. Like I said, I do these things just to kind of interact with you guys. It's not meant to be like a big thing, but obviously the more views, the better. Anyways, let's get to the question. So, Kaioken, no Kaioken. It wasn't until I watched Dragon Ball Z Kai and the Japanese voices on one video game that I recognized what it was. When I look back on it now, I think it's hilarious. Mispronunciations happened a bit in the anime dubs in the 90s and early 2000s. What are your thoughts on that? Yeah, it's true. Like, Kaioken was incorrect. Tons of stuff was changed in the English dub. Some of it was their fault. Some of it was not. What are my thoughts on it? Well, it's just one of those things where because of the power of that early Dragon Ball Z dub, it's kind of just become just a way of life, it seems. Like, for example, when I first started doing my YouTube channel, you know, I only use the word, like I pronounce the word Saiyan, right? Because that is the correct way to pronounce it. I have a whole video explaining why. It was never Saiyan, it was Saiyan. But Texas made a mistake when they were dubbing it and they called it Saiyan. And because they never went back to fix this now, we have several generations in this country who grew up saying, you know, Saiyan. And it's cool if you want to say that. It doesn't bother me. But what sucks is that because we have the internet where we have keyboard warriors and people who are anonymous, you know, I start saying the word Saiyan and people look at me like I'm a fucking idiot. And they're like, Saiyan? Like, I'm not going to watch this video, dude. You're pronouncing it wrong. And it gets me just kind of like mind blown that these people who actually have the audacity to claim that they know more about the series than me, especially when it comes to the history of the dubs, when I've had several, not one, several voice actors on this channel who worked on the dub. I've had production folks I've talked to, and I still do to this day. And they're trying to say that I don't know about the series, but that's just kind of how it is on the internet. If someone disagrees with you, they just don't know. You don't know anything, right? That's how it is. And it's irritating. It really is irritating. So I don't really care anymore, but it's just something that they did back in the day. And really, they kind of still do it nowadays. It's just not as bad as before, but you still see mispronunciations all the time. Okay, first time asking question. I watch YouTube videos. You've been credible. Thank you. I try to be credible. I try not to lie in my videos. Do you think the reason why Tien, Piccolo, etc. aren't as strong or skilled is because they don't have a wife telling them what they're doing wrong? Like Bulma says, relax. Vegeta's weakness. Chi-Chi says, work harder. Same with Whis points in training. That's kind of a funny question. And I want to go ahead and get the commenters involved on that one. I don't think that having a wife has anything to do with it. In fact, some would argue that having a wife actually made Gohan, you know, softer and civilized, so it could work both ways. Same thing with Krillin in 18, even though I think Krillin's still pretty damn strong, at least for what he can be. I mean, he's not going to be Goku and Vegeta's level of strength, but no one expects him to be. So, no, I don't think having a wife has anything to do with it. I just think that just Tien's, I guess, his cap on strength is just not as high as, you know, the Saiyans. I don't know. Or the Saiyans, whatever you want to call them. By the way, if you hear something in the background, guys, I have the fan on, and it's because I'm really, really hot right now. It's like I'm doing this video at like 2 in the morning, but it's scorching hot in Florida. It's just never going to get cold until like November. So I apologize for that, but it's just I'm going to be in front of this computer for a long time here doing this Q&A, so that's why. Stacy Toretto, I hope I said your name right. She writes, What if Trunks' new form is sort of a precursor to SSJB, or Super Saiyan Blue? Him spending time training with Vegeta, maybe his body got used to it. He was able to feel the pressure of it without sensing the ki of Vegeta during their sparring match, so maybe he subconsciously learned how to tap into God Ki but not fully use it. That's one of the more popular theories that we've been seeing lately about that form. And yes, that's very plausible. In fact, I would say that's actually, I would go a step further, Stacy, and say that's not only plausible, that's actually likely. Like, it makes sense that this form that Trunks tapped into is some kind of pre-blue, like some folks have called it fake SS Blue. There's no official explanation yet, but that's essentially what it is, or what it seems like it is. And it's interesting because, as we've established in the past, in several videos I've done, Trunks has more potential than Goku or Vegeta because he's a half-breed, based upon what we found out in Dragon Ball Z. So maybe this form, I mean, I don't know if it's more powerful, but I feel like if Trunks trained with Whis, he may be able to surpass, you know, his dad and Goku. Like, really, he might. Like, not even kidding. Is that Cell's penis or his tail? It's his tail, but he may use it as a penis. The balls are inert. Yes. If Frieza killed Gohan instead of Kuririn, how would the rest of DBZ played out? First of all, I appreciate you spelling it Kuririn, but Frieza with an I, don't combine them now, bro. No, I'm kidding. That's a video for, like, that's a whole other video, dude. Like, that's an entire, like, what if Quinman scenario here. I would say it would have been similar, because they would have still resurrected Gohan. It really wouldn't have been that much different. Goku would have still raged out and still would have, you know, transformed and fought Frieza. So I don't think it would have been that different. Why does first form Frieza have panties on? I mean, I'll tell you one thing. I've heard from several people that wearing panties feels nice. I've never done it, but I've heard from people that they like it. I'm talking about men, too. You know, men. I'm not going to say who, but they say it's comfortable, so there you go. Who will win in a dance fight, Grace Saiyaman or Captain Ginyu? That's a good one, because they're both very similar. I would say Captain Ginyu because he has more experience with the poses. I think he would win that one. Do you hope Togashi continues Yu Yu Hakusho? I want a redo of the last arc. Yes. One thing I would absolutely love is if Yu Yu Hakusho had a comeback like Dragon Ball. Like with Super. I would absolutely love that. I would review it on the channel. I would do videos about it. I would go in depth about it. I think it would just be, that would be great, yo. Like, it's not gonna happen, I don't think, because Hunter x Hunter is like his main focus lately, but that would be amazing, I think. Does anyone know Vegeta's last name? Vegeta does not have a last name. Fun fact, nobody in Dragon Ball has a last name with the exception of Goku's family's son. And I know what you're going to say, because I am already expecting this. Ten Shin Han? Shin Han is not his last name. The dub screwed that up. Ten Shin Han is his name. That's it. Dr. Briefs? Briefs is his first name. Bulma Briefs is actually not her name. That was changed by Dragon Ball Evolution and a few of the guidebooks, the English Pogo guidebooks of the 90s. Her name is not Bulma Briefs. Trunks' name is not Trunks Briefs. That's actually a mistranslation. It's incorrect. And Mr. Satan, that's not his last name either. His name is Mark. He got the name Mr. Satan from climbing the Satan Tower. So, you know, people think that that's the case, but the fact is, no. Nobody in Dragon Ball has a last name except for Goku, which is Son. Son Goku, or Goku's son. That's his surname. So, and Gohan and Goten. Ever watch Gundam? Yes. Ever watch Berserk? I seen the old one, not the new one. If Namekians are born from barfing out an egg, how are the Frieza race born? From Evan Akelik. If I screwed your name up, I'm sorry. And the answer to that is, I don't know. We just know that they are asexual, just like the Namekians. So they do have that in common. Why was Piccolo Daimao weaker than the other Namekian fighters like Nail? I'm not entirely sure how to answer this, but I don't believe he was weaker than all of the other Namekian fighters. I think Nail was just an extraordinary fighter from the Dragon Clan. Plus, don't forget that Piccolo is one half of the original nameless Namekian. So it's one of those things where if he refused with Kami at some point prior to when it actually happened, he would be a lot stronger. In fact, the Grand Elder Saichoro, otherwise known as Guru in the dub, actually claimed that the original nameless Namekian was a Super Namek and was just as strong as the Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan if it bothers you so much when I say Saiyan. And that's some shit right there. Like, that's crazy to me that he's as strong, if not stronger, right? And obviously when Piccolo fused with Kami, he was really strong, but remember, he also had Nail in there, and he also trained a lot. But either way, it's a winning combination as far as strength goes. Let me take a little sip of tea here for the working man. Okay. After watching your Time Paradox Time Loop Explain video, I thought of something. In the timeline where Zamasu took Goku's body and killed Goten and Chi-Chi, where was Gohan? Did Zamasu kill everyone, or is he still alive? At that point in that timeline, could Zamasu defeat Vegeta and Gohan? So I've gotten this question a lot lately, and I haven't really been able to answer. But the answer is I don't know. All we can assume is that Gohan was at home with Videl. Because remember, Gohan doesn't live with Chi-Chi and with Goku. He lives with Videl. That's his wife now. So he probably didn't even know this was going on. And what happened was, when Zamasu killed Goku or took his body and killed him, Chi-Chi and Goten, he fled to the future. And that's why Gohan just never... I mean, what are they going to do, dude? Like, he's gone. You know, it would just have ended up being like a murder mystery or something in that timeline. You know what I mean? Like, they wouldn't even know who did it. What do you think? What would you think of a DBZ Saiyan arc live action movie but with a Sin City type of filming and pacing, but not necessarily in black and white? I don't think that's Dragon Ball. Like, that sounds like somebody's like dark emo Dragon Ball. I mean, the idea, I liked Sin City the way it was done, and I like Dragon Ball. I just don't know if it would fit together. I just don't see that fitting. You know what I mean? If I went to YouTube and searched for Dragon Ball Super power levels, will these power levels make sense? Should I rely on them and believe them? What do you think? And will you make your own video about the power levels if it's possible? No, there are no official power levels beyond when Trunks appears. There's some guidebook stuff here and there for the movies, but other than that, there's absolutely no official power levels after that. Anything you see are just fan theories, and chances are when it comes to Dragon Ball Super, it's probably without a doubt a fan theory, because Dragon Ball Super's power scaling is so inconsistent that it's almost impossible to pinpoint what the power levels are. Plus, they're in such like millions and millions and millions that it's just, there's no point. So no, don't believe power levels at all. In fact, I don't want to say that power levels are bullshit thing, but the fact is that when it comes to anything past like this, like with the Cell Saga and beyond, it's immeasurable. See what I'm saying? If the Zamasu that became black went into the future, where did Zamasu that Beerus kill come from? Didn't they both fight Goku? Then what didn't was Trunks' timeline. I explained this in the video, the one that the other gentleman talked about, the time loop video. Go to my channel, it's there. Here we go, relationship question. Alright, I like this girl who likes this guy that has a girlfriend. Damn, that's already complicated. This girl and I used to talk a lot, but when we got into a fight, we tried to protect her and we called each other names. Do you think there's a way to fix our stuff and possibly get with her? Well, one thing at a time, bro. First of all, she likes a guy who has a girlfriend, so I can tell you right now that that's already kind of a bad thing in the sense of, like, that's a red flag, okay? When you see a woman, a girl who likes a guy with a girlfriend and she's actually, like, going to pursue him, that makes her kind of a Jezebel, and it shows that she has no respect for that relationship. And when you're dealing with a woman that has no respect for another relationship, it usually means she would have no respect for yours. So you really got to sit down like a grown-up and think about this. Now, I'm pretty sure this question was sent by somebody who was young. I'm pretty sure it was sent by somebody younger, and that's cool. And I'm an older guy, so I can tell you kind of, because I've been down this road before. I've been in this situation before, dude. I would really think about whether or not it's worth it, because she likes another guy, and you and her are really kind of fighting. You can try to be friends with her again if you want. Just apologize and just call her and see if you can talk to her, but that's a big red flag that she's trying to hook up with. I mean, she likes him. If she's not trying to hook up with him, then whatever. Everybody has a crush. But she's going to have to, if she really likes this guy, she's going to have to get over him first before she even talks to you. What's one of the worst shows you've ever seen? I don't know. You know, this question kind of took me by surprise, because you would think that I would know right off the hop, but I don't know. One of the worst shows I've ever seen. I guess like really bad wrestling when it's really bad. You know, that kind of stuff sucks. Like the bad wrestling, not the good wrestling. I like wrestling, just not the bad stuff. I have to think about it. Like general TV show, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I have to give that some thought because I tend to stay away from bad TV. I don't really watch a lot of TV anyways. Who is the strongest woman in Dragon Ball Z? In Dragon Ball Z, not in all of Dragon Ball, because in all of Dragon Ball it's Vados. But in Dragon Ball Z, Android 18. If I have a friend who wants to get into Dragon Ball Z, but they don't know where to start, where would be the best place to get them started? Dragon Ball. Start with Dragon Ball. Am I a great prognosticator? Yes. How do you wake up? Jeff from Super. I don't know, I just do. Do you like coffee? Yes, I do. I'm not a big coffee addict, but I do like it. What do you do at the shops? What kind of shops? Need more information. Are you on Patreon where I can support your channel? I'm not on Patreon, but if you want to support Geekdom 101, go to geekdom101.com. There's a donate button there. I will take any donations you want. I'm not asking for them, but they're there. And that would certainly help out the brand because I have a lot of big videos coming up, and I might actually hire some advanced editors, so I may need some help with that. So definitely, that's not cheap, by the way, bros. So definitely go to geekdom101.com and donate there. I may do a Patreon in the future. I don't know yet. Do you think that Piccolo will ever make a comeback? I'm tired of only the Saiyans getting all the spotlight in DB Super, and I feel like Piccolo should get some sort of power boost. I don't think so. I hate to say it, but realistically speaking, I don't think so. But you never know. You never know. He doesn't have to be the top guy, but I want him to do something. Prince Vegeta, who's your favorite character in Dragon Ball? Champa. I've said that a bunch of times. Have you ever watched Neon Genesis Evangelion? What are your thoughts on Trunks' new Super Saiyan transformation? I already did a video about that transformation. I said it looked pretty cool. And as far as the Neon Genesis Evangelion, yes, I have seen the series and the movies, but I haven't seen the remade movies yet. Favorite Cartoon Network show of all time? Can I say Dragon Ball? I mean, am I allowed to say that? Other than Dragon Ball, I really like Dexter's Lab. I don't know if you guys remember that show. I like Dexter's Lab. I like some of the Johnny Quest stuff. Sailor Moon, if you want to count that. Gundam Wing. All that anime was good. But you talk about just Cartoon Network, Johnny Bravo and Dexter's Lab are kind of my two favorite shows. What's the multiplier for SS Rose? Nobody knows, bro. What would happen if Ginyu used body change on Gotenks or Gogeta? I've been asked this so many times, and the answer is I don't know. Do you think with another 2 or 3 good arcs at the Future Trunks Black Goku arc that Super can completely redeem itself from the money-grabbing retelling first 2 arcs from Chris Hardy? If it's a few good arcs, I think so. Yeah, I did a video with Dr. Blick about this. We had a good discussion. Check out Dr. Blick's channel, and you'll see that video. Do you think that God Ki is actually a condensing and refining of regular Ki within your body? I think it's possible since Goku was able to become a god through the absorption of a large amount of regular Ki. Your thoughts from L. It's complicated, and I don't have all the answers right now, and I have to really think about it, but my thing is, I think that Goku... Okay, I think that God Ki is different. I don't think it's the same kind of Ki, but I think you're right in that its properties involve condensing and refining Ki. So you're right, but I do think it's a different kind of Ki, but I don't believe it's significantly more powerful than regular Ki, especially for certain mutants like Frieza, who can just... Golden Frieza was as strong, if not stronger, than SS Blue Goku. So it's just one of those things where God Ki is not the end-all, be-all, but you're right in that it could be a means to an end here. It could be a little more, I guess, better for combat. Last question from Christopher Horns. Will we see the Genki Dama in Dragon Ball Super, maybe in conjunction with the Mafuba? For those of you who have not seen Dragon Ball in Japanese, the Genki Dama is the Spirit Bomb, and I predicted that Goku would make a Genki Dama out of God Ki, the God Spirit Bomb, and that could hurt somebody's ass, right? Like, that could do some damage, dude. Think about that. It won't be as big as, like, the giant Spirit Bomb that he used on Boo or on Frieza, but it'll be compact with dangerous, dangerous energy. I don't think he's going to use it in conjunction with the Mafuba. Anyways, thank you once again for tuning into my Q&A where I answer your questions from the Ask.fm. We like to get real connected here between you guys. I like to interact with you guys. I'm not one of those channels just uploads videos that never interacts. I like to talk to you, and I do. Really, I'm not kidding. Right? So definitely thank you as always for your support of the Geekdom 101 channel. Y'all have a great day. God bless you if you believe in God. If not, it's okay too. Just have a great day. And if you're having a bad day, remember, tomorrow probably won't be so bad. Trust me on this one. All right? Talk to y'all later.